Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is Sunday, January 23rd, 2022. It's currently 8:53 a.m. This is the P.O.C. and I have already captured what is video documentation. Again, what I have already established, what I have already published. So what are you witnessing right now? I am recording on my podcast for purposes of worldwide exposure of what is, understand, first of all, at the baseline, this is demonic activity. This is the revealing of what is Satan. That is all around you, and you are unaware of it. And now you have been made aware of it because this is what is significant with regard to what is stalking with a light source that is not the sun, not possibly the sun, and it is impossible to be the sun. And as I captured on video at 8:48 in the morning, while I remain inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern, you have what is the state's light source and not the actual sun. You are witnessing what is Satan that is in operation in real time, engaging in real time conduct over an environment and operating through those who are demon possessed. This is satanic in every way. And you have what is the fake sun that is hovering over 630 North Fern, which is aiming directed light inside of this vehicle that remains in front of that facilitating venue where demons live at 630 North Fern, and where demons are driving all around me while I'm inside of the vehicle in front of 630 North Fern, and where demons are walking around outside crossing path all around me while I'm inside of the vehicle in front of 630 North Fern, while they're under lowercase g and air quotes around their God, which is Satan itself, is keeping a light source over me. And this is the reality of what you're witnessing in that video that I captured at 8:48 a.m. It is revealing what is demonic. This is entirely satanic, and it's criminal while the government is engaging in this. These are puppets of Satan in positions of the government engaging in what are surveilling American citizens, and I'm documenting that. And you are understanding what is the significance of that light source. It's for purposes of surveillance. It is monitoring with communication devices in violation of existing federal law. So the state's fake sun being present here at 8:48 a.m., this is impossible to coexist with where I am, first of all, days ago, where I am on the Omnitrans bus after remaining at the B&G Plaza earlier than this. We have days prior, I am already at in the vehicle. The state is moving its fake sun, remaining over the vehicle as she drives, she being Tracy Banks, drives to the Stater Brothers, which is driving south on Fern Avenue, driving west on Hope Boulevard, which I'm showing you in video. The state's fake sun is not remaining stationary over 630 North Fern. Okay. And then she drives east, which I show you on video, on Hope Boulevard to the B&G Plaza. And then I get on the Omnitrans bus, and I've shown you on video where the state is keeping that fake sun over me on through the window of that bus, and the bus is in motion, leaving from B&G Plaza, which at this time is at the same time where I'm capturing that days prior, you have what is the state stationary over 630 North Fern. And it is also relevant, as I pointed out in that video, because this is the ongoing pattern of conduct that is altogether. The government that is engaging in satanic surveillance and terrorism is stalking by plane and helicopter. And the state's flying over me while keeping a fake sun over me and aiming directed light inside of this vehicle, also sounding helicopter flying over me, not only last night, but this morning as well, where this fake sun is present. All right. And so you have what I want to make sure that I included that on my podcast, because that's exactly what happened. And this is what the state is doing. And that's why the fake sun is here. But not only that, that's days ago, just yesterday, 24 hours ago, I am still at what is 111 North Vineyard Avenue, where those demons of Starbucks were present in relevant position, shutting down their establishment real quick before I arrived. That's literally what happened. All right. And you have what is still documenting what is a venue. The state's fake sun is over your venue, and you're still engaged in P.O.C. while minions are lined up all around your venue. And I've already documented your venue. Anyway, but like I said, 24 hours ago, I remain at 8:48 a.m. I showed you at 7:35 in the morning. The state's fake sun is here at 630 North Fern. That is not visible from Starbucks over the edge at 630 North Fern. In the same way, remaining at Mercy House, 435 South Bonneview in the afternoon, like I went 366 days ago now, because that was January 22nd, 2021, is not in the same. And as I go from Ontario Mills to the Mercy House venue, in Ontario, after being on the bus and documenting and showing you what is the state keeping the fake sun over me everywhere that I'm going, okay, from getting on the bus to going to Ontario Mills to walking all around it at that location at that venue, and then getting on the bus and the state keeping the fake sun over me the entire time, over my head, central over me, which I show on video, including as I go to and arrive at 435 South Bonneview. That is not in perfect alignment with the entrance area of the Ovid Family Community Library. So you're talking in the same way you're witnessing what is stalking with the light source. You are witnessing what is Satan itself. Satan is engaging in what is using an environment to engage in what is going to be prosecuted as terrorism. You're talking about what is Satan using people to accomplish what are the wicked deeds. All right. Wicked deeds are literally Satan wants to keep tabs on everybody, all right, and is using people literally in order to do so, using those who are in the positions of government, engaging in what is public corruption, doing it under the fallacy of what is supposedly free society in the United States. But like I said, the fact that this is happening in the United States of America, in California, this is speaking to what is no different than any other country that we would otherwise contrast ourselves with, as I will continue to exemplify with regard to Russia. We are not different from Russia. I have more respect for such a country who is upfront with regard to the rights that their citizens don't have, as opposed to what the United States is doing, presenting this fallacy, especially on the world stage, all right, and acting as though we are so free. And no, we're not. No, this is demonic. And it is, let me be clear, by virtue of my documentation, you're looking at Satan. You're looking at Satan using what is a light source remaining over me, okay? That's what that is. It's not the sun. And also you need to understand you're looking at Satan itself. Okay, Satan's not going to be in the form of some body, some person. You're talking about demon possessed, where Satan is a spirit and is acting through the demon possessed that I'm showing you, who you're looking at, walking around, driving around, talking, whatever it is that they're doing. They're demon possessed. You're looking at Satan itself that is present through the environment, remaining over me through what is not possibly the sun. That is the supernatural. That's what you're looking at. And so this is how you have what is a light source remaining central over my head, 7:35 in the morning. Yesterday, if that was the actual sun, there is no, which you already know it's not, because I've already documented the state keeping its fake sun right here where it is now while I stay here well until after 4 p.m. in the evening. That's exactly what I documented on January 1st, 2022. You already know that this is not possibly the sun. That day in and of itself, January 1st, you already know that that's not the sun. The actual sun is not remaining over one street, remaining central over one person. How is anybody in Nevada having a sunny day? Where is the sun at in the state of Nevada? Where the state is, as a matter of documentation, keeping what is supposedly the only sun, because there's only one, and that's how the rest of the country knows what's going on. There's only one sun. So when you're talking about sunny skies in Florida, you're talking about it being a hot, blazing day in Texas. What is above them in those states? Because it's not the sun. This is satanic. You're witnessing the supernatural. And Satan is present, maintaining ubiquitous presence through the sky, through what you are otherwise not questioning, thinking, and assuming that it's the sun, and it's not. That is not the sun, and it's not possible to be the sun. All right. And that's a matter of documentation. And so I want to document that. This is what I captured on video. It's currently 9:01 a.m. The state indeed engaging in flying and stalking, terrorizing by helicopter while its fake son. These are demons that are in positions of government stalking an American citizen via helicopter. Okay. You have what is, and that's going to be prosecuted as terrorism. And that's for purposes of what is going, you're going to federal prison. This is what the government is doing. And this is what is necessary with regard to legislation. And this is terrorism occurring in the United States. And that is the grounds of what is federal prison. These are dangerous psychopaths in positions of government, stalking in incredible manners, such as helicopter. That is terrorism. Okay. What is the difference between that and some third world country that we're so much, supposedly so much more civilized than? We're not. Do not be fooled. You're known by what you're doing. And I am showing you what the government in California and the United States is doing. And these are animals. And that's the grounds of federal prison, period. So while the state is engaging in acting on behalf of its lowercase g, air quotes, God, Satan, which is hovering over me with the light source, that is not possibly the sun. It is the direct evidence as to, first of all, your condition, your demon possession, your engagement in what is a system of terrorism while you are placing an American citizen under surveillance in violation of existing federal law and that which shall be enforced against a public entity. That is S.I.I.S, systematic infliction of inhumane suffering. All right. That is federal. That is policy that I advance, that I advocate, that I have literally created for purposes of dealing with what are the demon possessed. It is an entirely malicious system in unfathomable ways, and that is the absolute departure from any other stance that you would take. It is not the presumption of guilt. No, you are still getting these demons. All right. Satan itself that is acting through people are still given their constitutional rights because this is the country that we live in. Right. That's what it is. But you're understanding the inherent malice. All right. So with that constitutional right, you're essentially being looked at as the animal that you are. All right. As the absence of any credibility that you don't have any. All right. But nonetheless, you get your day in court and you're understanding what is policy in order to deal with that. This is a new day and time. It's not a fallacy. It's not an imagination. It's not some hallucination. The government is monitoring American citizens. Demonic activity is very real. It is surrounding everyone. Look up in the sky, look up above you, because that is not the sun that's above you. You're witnessing Satan, and the demon possessed are surrounding you while Satan is hovering over you. Okay, that's what that is. That is exactly how you are understanding what is going on. All I'm doing is documenting it for you. That's all I'm doing. And because what you are looking at, what's going on in California, that's how you know that's not the sun that's over you in whatever state that you're in. That's exactly how you know. And you know why? Because there's only one sun. There's only one. And that's not possibly the sun. While the state is keeping it literally still down to the minute 9:04 a.m., the state is keeping its fake sun at an entirely different location. I get on the bus yesterday at Holt and Euclid Avenue, and then I get off at Lemon and Holt, where the state's fake sun, as you see, clearly captured. I intentionally do this. You see it directly above the bus. You see it in the window of the bus while it is in motion coming from an opposite direction, where the state is right now already present above 630 North Fern. That's impossible. Impossible. All right. Let alone being over me while I am on a bus en route to Fontana. All right. Arriving in the city of Fontana at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and you're keeping a light source. You're witnessing this is getting past the verbiage. It is a fake sun because this is indeed speaking in terms that one may understand. This is not possibly the sun. So it is referred to deliberately as a fake sun. But you are looking at that object. It is definitely there. So what is that object? You're witnessing the demonic. Okay. That's what that is relevant to. Okay. So anyway, it's 9:05 a.m. and the state is keeping its fake sun over 630 North Fern. And these are the demons of that venue engaging in an ongoing molestation last night, molesting using the lights on their property. And that's exactly what it is, where light is instrumental with regard to placing one under surveillance with communication devices on behalf of a government while in relevant position and while directed light remains. That is a weapon, and it is also sexually violent while you continuously use it to touch me, while demons are also crossing paths with simultaneity to your use of the light on your property. All right, that's 630 using, engaging in ongoing molestation. So I want to document that, and the state sounding helicopter activities, being the stalker, the demons that they are, both last night and this morning. All right, and you have what is 9:06 a.m. the state aiming directed light, just like you saw on video at Starbucks. All right. The state's fake sun while I'm at Best Western over the parking lot, not possibly coexisting with the raining over here. And that's not even sunlight. You see the blankets that are covering up the window. These are demons that are stalking all around me. All right. And that is the proof of demon possession, directed light. Also, hundreds of videos documenting what is identifying the demon possessed in the state of California. It is the direct evidence of that that's going toward a prosecution for terrorism while they are engaged in surveillance. And you're understanding what is all around you, which is demonic activity, while that which is not the sun, Satan itself, is hovering above you. All right. It is, and you are surrounded by it. It is affecting your daily life, whether you are aware of it or not. Okay. It is important that you be made aware of it. These are the times that we are in. And it is that also relevant to what is the ability to prosecute a government that is unconstitutionally and inhumanely placing you under surveillance. All right. It's and also demonstrating what are the heights of hypocrisy, while these who are animals in positions of such government and, positions of law enforcement positions, medical professionals, you can name it. Let me be clear, puppets of Satan. I'm not going to mince words. Puppets of Satan, okay? Aiding to what is the agenda of the wicked, okay? The living dead. Satan using those in those positions for its own demented purposes. It's a whole entire comprehensive system. And those demons, guess what the proof of it is? They're under a fake sun, hoping that you would never, ever realize that. Because once you do, guess what? They are surrounded with that evidence. It's not a fallacy. It's not a fable. All right. It's 9:08 a.m. and this is P.O.C. All right. License 8KSR145, 8NXF 567, 5EBA 157, CNECTD 7NCE 5, 7NCE 583. It's currently 10:41 a.m. Showing you what is video of the state keeping the fake sun, and this is understand demonic activity. All right, so this is the state keeping a fake sun over me. I am the focus. All right, and while doing so, in total violation of what is science, common sense, nature, possibility. All right, you're witnessing the supernatural, and then movement 8NIM 949 movement in real time as we move from that location. Okay, 8LPS 986, I believe. And this is what I'm reminding you of 24 hours ago by this time at 10:35, which is when I captured that video this morning. 10:35 a.m. I'm already at the Ovid Family Community Library, where you clearly see this light source, which is supposedly the sun. It's not the sun. It's a hovering light source that remained over my head as I traveled, both on foot and vehicle, which I also documented on video for your own eyes to see. There is no question. And you have what is the light source that is over the 280 North Limit Apartments as I remain. And it remained there. That's why I stepped out at 12:42 p.m. And also reminded you about the fact that 365 days ago from yesterday, I was nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. I was at the Ontario Mills, showing the fake sun as it remained over me at that property. And then I went to still 435 South Bonneview Mercy House, where the state kept the fake sun over me at that property. And you passed it already. And you have what is the state, again, ahead of schedule. That's what I was showing you. But again, so today, this is how you're understanding what is stalking with a light source. And that's not possibly the sun. And these are the demon-possessed 6YBV050. All right, the little minions that surround 66873W2, 8XAH645, 8WES081, BLM249. That's out of state. And the state is in conflict with that, all right, because that's existing. So if that's the sun, how is this remaining? First of all, how is it even visibly present, hovering over 630 North Front? But second of all, remaining in the same position, whereas yesterday I have moved from place to place, all right? And the maintenance of that central presence, which is this light source in its zenith, if you will, remaining over me, all right? And then not only that do I capture that in 1035, I also want you to see, which is what I captured seconds later, as engaged in movement from that location where the state is keeping a fake sun over me, 5RSC 702, you see that light source moving as I move. All right, where it is already stationary. These are demons at Walmart, license BE97T87, paper plate. Lights as they open and close the door, the fake sun over the Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue, impossible light activity, BLJN259. That's the correct license plate of the out-of-state license plate. It was incorrectly recited. While the fake sun is over the Walmart now, they are engaging in activity creation as they open their doors, just like the minion with the high water pants on at the Starbucks yesterday, opening and closing the door. That's activity creation, systematic conduct of demons. Ready? License plate 8BXN174. 8PXM471, I believe. So anyway, this is what I showed on video, and the state flight source is over the Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue, and you already know what Walmart is, what Walmart is engaged in, what Walmart is about, how Walmart feels about your constitutional rights and your human rights, and that has been illustrated for you for your own eyes to witness and your ears to witness on podcast and on video. And let alone they have no credibility while they are across the country speaking about matters such as climate control, where the entity is engaging in what is state surveillance and terrorism through them, Walmart, who is maintaining what is literally the operation of that, which is they are puppets of Satan while they are speaking to you about climate control while a fake sun remains over their property, which is the case right now. It is currently 10:45 a.m. This is P.O.C. BU20U65 is a paper plate. Bell cab. See. BHGX761 7NGY. I can't say the rest of them. You can scratch that one. Able to pour into you the same way you got to pour into her. And this is a video that you need to take heed to. So let's get right to it. 7DEL244. No particular order. Security. Now, when we talk about security, and so you're understanding the big picture with regard to the people of the state. 7WKU236. This is why light source stays over me. And this is also identifying their condition. They are demons. And they're engaging in surveillance. 7AMC138. And that's the significance of that, which is not possibly the sun remaining over me as I've documented it. 6ZZT367. It's 10:46 a.m. And I'm just reminding you about yesterday. Don't forget when I got on the Omnitrans bus and I went to the Fontana Metrolink train station at 10:29 a.m. where I remained walking toward that, and the demons in a SWAT vehicle identified as the Fontana Police Department are stalking under a fake sun in the city of Fontana. And then I get on the Route 61 and I'm still on that bus at this time where the state is on this day maintaining a fake sun over 630 North Fern and following as she's driving on Mountain Avenue at Walmart, etc., etc. This is P.O.C. 6VJ8885, 8ADZ691, 8PBV026, and that's what you call framing with what is insurmountable evidence and showing what are the tactics of Satan. Satan on Front Street. It is 10:47 a.m. All right, this demon coming around to stalk with light. This is a demon with directed light, 8PEC757. Monitoring with these demons, 8VFC810, 7JXN960. They're at 7-Eleven located at 1055 Mountain Avenue, where the fake sun is over this 7-Eleven right now. This is P.O.C. These are the pathetic demon possessed, monitoring with communication devices on surveillance camera as well. P.O.C. It's 10:56 a.m. 4XTM577, 7FDP680. Stalking sitting right here in front of the car while I'm sitting in the car there. I call this it's not like they're, but they're stalking, all right? And you're talking about what are demons that they're just engaging in an ongoing babysitting. They're just maintaining presence. Stalking in the parking lot while El Super is creating audible activity under the fake sun that's right over me by pushing around shopping carts. Right? That's a demon that's using their position with the grocery store, with the type of venue, and it's supposed to be appropriating what it is that you would expect to see somebody pushing around shopping carts in a parking lot. It's actually a demon that is surrounding you with audible activity, noise, and engineered light. And these demons that are babysitting in the parking lot, 8Y35612. Alrighty, it is 10:57 a.m. And what I captured on video, first of all, Southwest Airlines that is flying in relevant position, hovering over what is Mountain Avenue, adjacent to me as I'm exiting out. The timing is relevant to as I'm walking out of the 7-Eleven, while the fake sun is directly over my head, which is impossible with the maintenance of presence over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. This is how you know what Southwest Airlines is doing. I've already shown you the demons all around me. AVUZ100 as well. I've already shown you the demons all around me on the ground. All right. What the state is doing through third parties such as Southwest Airlines. Demons flying airplanes, stalking in that incredible manner in a specific environment, okay? Focused on what I am doing. This is what the state of California is engaging in, all right? And so you're also going to recall where I'm showing you the fake sun is. I'm on Mountain Avenue. It is on the state's fake sun is over me in that parking lot, which is on the opposite side of what is the Ontario Plaza where I am right now. 7TXE917, 8GFY855. These are demons that are patrolling. on the opposite side, and then the state is following with its fake sun over my head in the parking lot. So you're going to pay attention to that. And I've already shown you this being at this parking lot of the Ontario Plaza that is anchored by El Super on Mountain Avenue in Ontario. And all of this is coexisting with what is supposed to be the maintenance of the light source in perfect alignment with the entrance of the library, while the state is also aiming to direct the light through the side underneath the shaded structure outside of the library into the depths of the library onto the ground. In other words, touching into the Copy and Business Center underneath the structure of the library and proceeding into the depths of it. This is what all that's supposed to coexist with, while it's also remaining over me while I'm on the Route 66 bus, on the Route 61 bus as well, on me in the window, street for street, turn for turn. Okay. And also as I have remained at the B&G Plaza. It's 10:59 a.m. I've shown you remaining at the B&G Plaza, not leaving, and capturing video at specifically 11:50 a.m. while I stood in front of Enrique's income tax. That is showing what is stalking with light. And that is speaking to what Southwest Airlines is engaging in. And it's called terrorism. 8 SRB 185. And the fake sun is over me while Southwest Airlines is stalking in the path, engaging in what is state surveillance and terrorism. All right, monitoring with communication devices with the people and on behalf of the state. It's currently 10:59 a.m.
Hang on, it's you, Erica.
8RMF077.
Material stuff. I don't trip over material stuff no more.
Oh, that's good. All right, license 7LAK952.
You know, she thought she was
8RSG022, an operation of a communication device. 7YFH141.
Caesar called me and told me that I was rolling. He says, only you're going to enjoy this.
4VCT888. 7UBY047. 7EPD. I'm sorry, 7EDP680. 7LAK952. I read these already. Let me get this. 4NJN241. 6GSC032. 3358. 6D2. 7KWX691. 8HJB335. 6RXL490.
In there today.
6CVL136.
I guess she did the same shit to somebody else.
8XXC957.
They told on her and then she retaliated.
The Ontario Fire Department on Mountain Avenue, it's right across the street, sounding sirens. And then sirens going in both directions. The fire department going north up mountain. And you have what is the sounding sirens going the opposite direction. 6FPX990, stalking in the parking lot under the fake sun that's over me. Monitoring to that activity creation, monitoring with the state. All right. And this is how that operation, the state system works. And this is how demonic activity is underway. The fake sun is over my head while the demons of the fire department are using their vehicles that they have in positions they have no business in, engaging in state surveillance, engaging in demonic activity. All of them puppets of Satan. Monitoring with communication devices is a violation of federal law. And then this demon that's entering groceries inside of his vehicle is supposed to be engaging in normal conduct. And you're understanding what is the P.O.C. License plate 8VOZ100. 7HYW567. It's currently 11:16 a.m. It is the Ontario Plaza is where I remain right now. This is P.O.C. 5BRE584. 5VOL202, 7TXE917, 6PXR241. I already read that demon's last plate. 7ZTU503. They pull out of parking spots that creates directed light across the storefronts. They're demons engaging and pacing all around. They're pathetic. And you're understanding the P.O.C. 8VQW328, 8SSM051, 8RQE385, 5YCB500, 8WBX197. And it's currently 11:19 a.m. And the fake sun is over my head. License 8SQX238. One 466-382. And we've got license 7JU8433 and 8JLF152, 6YSK680, 06621Y1. I'm at the back of the laundromat, super clean laundry, super filthy puppets, engaging in monitoring with ADS. That's looks like Accelerate Delivery System Incorporated. Maintaining presence behind on this back portion. Directed light is moving across the building while Tracy Banks is providing her demonic services, keeping her communication device in operation while directed light is flashing across the building. They're demons acting as one. It's 11:53 a.m.
Number
You
two.
heard me give your license plate? What vehicle are you in?
Doesn't matter what kind of vehicle I'm in. I'm just asking you why.
Why are you listening so closely to what I'm saying?
I get suspicious when somebody.
You get suspicious? I get suspicious when lights flashing all across the wall. I suggest you go mind your business.
No, I suggest you tell me what the hell's going on with.
I suggest you tell me your name.
Plates. What?
What's your name?
What is your name?
You know my name. That's why you're over here stalking. Are you harassing me? Yeah, you are. Don't yell at me, Satan.
Who do you think? You're crazy.
No, you're crazy. What else?
I'm not stalking you.
Yeah, you are. What else do you want? Is there anything else? Okay, bye. While he's monitoring. Patrolling in and out of the venue. You're crazy is audible activity of a demon-possessed psychopath under a fake sun and indirect light. And while he opens and closes his door, directed light flashing across the building, while a fake sun is above the venue. It's 11:55 a.m. ADS leaving from relevant positioning, loitering at the back portion of this parking lot as well. It is 11:56 a.m. Alrighty, you're listening to the audible activity of what is a demon-possessed stalker, hostile to being documented while engaging in what is state surveillance and terrorism, 5LDH 580, and you're hearing what is the audible activity of a demon. That's literally what you're listening to. Engaging in what is criminal defamation, 7TED 617, 8YPP 524, 7VVP 512. And I just captured images of what is the state's fake sun that's over me, over this parking lot where you're hearing that demon engaging in what is focusing on me. Excuse me, why did you read my license plate to whoever you're talking to on the phone while he is patrolling in and out of the venue where the fake sun is over the venue? And this is supposed to coexist with being over 280 North Lemon Apartments at the entrance of the library, which I show you at 10:06 as I enter. And as I remain there at 12:42 p.m., I'm showing you what is the state's light source that remains there. And that is the audible activity of what is a demon-possessed stalker. These are puppets of Satan engaging in that criminal system. And you're witnessing what is the pattern of conduct. And let me be clear, but for documentation, that is exactly what is the audible activity of psychopaths seeking to criminally defame one whom they are targeting with the state. All right, so this is framing those demons. That's a terrorist, all right? That is a demon, in fact, all right? And under what is the light source, that is the direct evidence of that system that is underway while you're listening to a psychopath, okay? This is exactly what Michael engaged in at Best Western while the fake sun was over the venue, while he's engaged in criminal conduct, okay? AJNK 225, I believe. And I did capture that image so you can see it while I'm at the back portion of the Super Clean Laundry. And while you have what is again focusing their activity creation to the back portion of this parking lot area, which is called patrolling, and impossible light shooting across the building while they do so. Pacing, which is 8JNK215. That's the correct license plate. It's currently 12:06 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, it's 1:06 p.m. at Super Clean Laundry, where the state is keeping its the fake sun is over the venue. And while engaging in P.O.C., you have what is the conduct of a sex offender. These are demons feigning ignorance as to my presence inside of the private space while they are engaging in activity creation by knocking on the door, which is a method of monitoring. And this is at 1:04 p.m. inside of Super Clean Laundry, and I'll show you the fake sun right now. 8CLR322, 6R32032. License 6LRV050, 69280Y1, 6DKP588, 8XHJ597, AM78W73. That's a paper plate. This is license plate. State's flying over the parking lot, 56173L2. And I captured the state's light source. That is the fake sun that is not over the Ontario Open Family Community Library entrance. the 280 North Limit Apartments. It's right here over the Super Clean Laundry. They are engaging in what is surveillance inside of the private space, activity creation while they're monitoring, stalking in relevant position and creating audible activity by what is knocking on the door and engineered light. That's noise and engineered light. All right, monitoring all together. It is currently 1:09 p.m.
All right, so
all right, what I show in video, also you're understanding what was the placement of the state's fake sun, not over the parking lot of the 7-Eleven across the street, not over the front parking lot area over the vehicle as I was documenting before. It is over the back parking lot. That's what I take still images of. And as I exit after 1 p.m., it's over my head, over through the window, 7 W.S.C. 388, while I am walking out of the Super Clean Laundry, keeping that light source over my head. All right, that is the maintenance of that light source over my head while you have what are demons engaged in surveillance, 6 MLV 869, 8 POA 446, and engaging in what is the intentional creation of activity creation, the intentional engagement in activity creation while inside of a private space. That's the government that is monitoring you inside of the bathroom while maintaining surveillance, engaging in monitoring with communication devices, 8GOE014. And that is at Super Clean Laundry. It's 1:11 p.m. And this is also showing what is the absence of any light source over anywhere in alignment with the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, like the state is doing while I am at that venue subject to this surveillance. While the state is moving that light source 54578P2 while en route to that venue. And it is the absence of it. It is the maintenance of that light source over me en route to that location. All right, and that's what that's showing. 8BIC 563, 7ZSS 043. It's currently 1:11 p.m. 6GBB 766. I believe that is the license plate. They're using their brake lights. That's what I took an image of. That's called stalking in the path. That is 6GBB 766. Parking inside, in front of the drive-through area, right in alignment with the drive-through, and you're looking at what is the light source that's right above me in that drive-through. This is the same plaza, the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Avenue, and it's 1:17 p.m. You're understanding what is that demonic pattern of stalking with light as the people engage in it, and the entity stalking with light with an entirely fake sun that's over my head. And it's 1:18 p.m. This is P.O.C. 7LBK 185. 8MCP 041 KINGHI.
I think these are yours.
Let me tell you about something. There is no king that is of any demon possession, and no king engages in stalking. All right? So this is contrary to what this demon has on their license plate.
Can you hold on to the back?
License 8ATA 584. That's again 8ATA 584. 8SWN 189. 7RJG 514. 6FWF 743. 8XDX 581. 8XTU 423. 14801J2. This is at Mountain and I Street. 8GLD 711. 6 MXJ 041. 8SSS 786. 6WXU 950. 8RGG 554. 7H 70164. 33530A3. Excuse me. It's 1:19 p.m.
Some of this.
Is it ice or is it 7FJM015 BBY 4EVR 4STK 164. All right, it is currently 3:52 p.m. Capturing video upon my exit of State Facility in Vinnie, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, showing what is the arrival, the absence thereof. And you see that while I'm in the vehicle, and we are not only that while I'm at the Ontario Plaza, but before that, while I remain at 630 North Fern after 10:30 in the morning, and the state's fake sun is not over at 280 North Limit Apartments, it's directly over the vehicle. And then you watch that fake sun This is demonic. You're witnessing Satan itself hovering over me, using what is a light source and using what are the people of the state, the demon possessed, who are engaging in that same obsessive stalking conduct, and doing so under what is to be treated as the direct evidence that it is of that ongoing stalking system in violation of federal law. This is state surveillance and terrorism, and doing so with communication devices while those demon-possessed actors maintain perpetual presence in the path, and doing so while engineered light remains around. And so as I capture video right now at 3:48, I'm just capturing and reminding you about what I've captured, which remains relevant. Whether Fontana Lewis Library and every other San Bernardino County library wants to close down its doors, this is state surveillance, and understand it remains relevant to what I'm revealing about the government and about the people of the state of California, the public entity itself, the state of California. And it is directly relevant while you are engaging in closure of doors and citing any excuse while that pattern of conduct is documented, and that is what is current, and that remains relevant with regard to the Fontana Lewis Library. So I want to be clear, Fontana Lewis Library is where I'm at, and at 3:48 p.m., which is the time that I'm starting this video, I preface it with still images that I capture as well. You're looking at surveillance inside of Ovid Family Community Library, sitting in front of me at an empty partition where there is no computer on the opposite side. That is for purposes of maintenance of presence. And then let me backstep. Even if there was a computer there, all right, which is the form for why they're sitting around. This is how demons are operating. They're all doing something. This is not stalking. This is everyday life. I'm just doing my laundry. I'm just working at the library. I'm just, pushing DVDs and library cards all day long in what is directed light and under a fake sun. And while the state is engaging in stalking in all of the incredible manners that I've shown, it is a matter of public corruption. And these are very highly malicious, dangerous psychopaths, as you hear from the audible activity, while they are in that directly incriminating environment. That's going to the prosecution of the demons that are the people of the state. And so at 3:48 p.m., you're going to remember Fontana Lewis Library as I was documenting this video on January 11th and January 12th, 2022. This is relevant to what is also time of day analysis, time of year analysis. And you have what is which is how you are understanding what is not the sun. And so that's why I'm using that. And it's an ongoing, consistent analysis. And this is already established. I'm prosecuting a government, and I'm going to prosecute every idle word coming out of the mouths of these sex-offending, demon-possessed psychopaths that are identified legally for their prosecution as the people of the state. All right. And so at 3:48 p.m., the state's fake sun is remaining, following to the venue. Okay, this is clearly not the sun. While I'm at the 630 North Fern, and it's over the car, that is the absence of any presence in alignment or next to, adjacent to the Ovid Family Community Library. While I'm in the vehicle and you're watching that fake sun moving in sync at the same time that I am moving in a vehicle that has remained at 630 North Fern, driving north on Fern Avenue, then driving west on G Street, that is the absence of any light source that is not the sun, over what is 280 North Limit Apartments or adjacent to the Ovid Family Community Library, which is the case where I was yesterday. While I am at the Ontario Plaza at Super Clean Laundry, while I'm in the back parking lot area, while I am exiting that venue, and you are looking at what are still images and video of that light source central over my head, maintaining presence at that venue on Mountain Avenue in Ontario. That is the absence of any light source hovering over the 280 North Limit Apartments in alignment or in adjacent to, in any way relevant or present in any way possible over the 280 North Limit Apartments, like the state does when I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library at any time of day. So you have what is the absence of that, and that's what that documentation shows. But it's all, and that's how you're documenting an entire entity, because the light source is at your venue while I'm subject to surveillance. And while I'm at another venue documenting that venue, it is directly incriminating, as is already shown by the video documentation, what you were doing, and it is undeniable. So you're talking about what is speaking to an ongoing comprehensive state system, whereby you are surrounded by the state. The state is indeed a stalker. The state is indeed a sex offender, as you also see at 3:48 p.m. today, which is the impossibility, and what I am juxtaposing this with is the state's fake sun as I captured on January 11th and January 12th, 2022. The state's fake sun at this time, both out the window, aiming directed light, filling the inside into the depths of the library, which is impossible. The sun is something that would be above buildings, not adjacent to them, not aiming light horizontally. It would be over, and it would actually create shade. It would not create this light that is necessarily, if you're going to speak of it as sunlight, then that will be sunlight that's supposedly coming from the sun that's in the sky above buildings, and bending horizontally in order to enter inside of windows and spread onto floors into the depths of buildings. That's not sunlight. That's called directed light. All right. And I'm just going to point out that manner of common sense application, which is necessary. But nonetheless, you're also looking at what is engineered light, and this is why you have what are multiple shadows. This is in every way not sunlight, but I just want to point that out. And this is where the state is aiming this at 3:41 p.m. when I'm in the city of Fontana. Let alone today. The state's fake sun is clearly not over anywhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. That's not the sun. This is the light source that remains over me while I'm at that venue. And while I am not at this venue, the state is keeping it over me in the parking lot of the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Avenue, keeping the state's fake sun. This is Satan itself. Understand this is demonic activity, and you're prosecuting that which is a matter of public corruption while a government, the demon-possessed in positions of government, are engaging in what is state surveillance. And it is terrorism while they are of that condition, engaging in that demented pattern of conduct, which is intended to terrorize on a perpetual basis and sexually violate, in violation of existing federal law, and that which shall be used to prosecute and legislate over what is a satanic method of keeping tabs on American citizens, which is surveillance. All right. And so you have what is the state's light source that's over me, and that is the by virtue of that documentation absent from any location over the Ovid Family Community Library. That is not the sun. I'm showing you in transit on Hope Boulevard, driving east toward what is the Ovid Family Community Library, but also passing what is the Ontario Village Shopping Center, the Stater Brothers, where the state's fake sun is over me in the parking lot at that venue early in the morning, following from that venue in the same direction that I'm capturing while I'm en route to this library in the afternoon. And it is going down that same route, remaining in the window of the vehicle, which I'm showing you on video. This is in no way the sun. That is maintaining that central presence and essentially repeating the same conduct that I'm capturing early in the morning, if this was the sun. Let alone you're talking about what is occurring when I am remaining in the city of Fontana. How would I ever be capturing footage of what's supposedly the sun over me through a window on a vehicle in Ontario, California, on a specific street? All right. That is speaking to what's ongoing in Upland. That is speaking to what's ongoing when I'm in Fontana and remaining at a venue or in transit to said venues, locations, and cities. This is stalking with light, and it is demonic. And so all the state did today was engaging in that ongoing obsessive stalking with engineered light, following with the fake sun to the venue where it is present after schedule. Okay, if this was the actual sun, it is not. This is not the actual sun engaging in some identical orbit on a day-to-day basis relative to what is time of year and time of day. This is a light source that is hovering over me, remaining over me wherever it is that I remain, and following where I go. That is by definition stalking. It is demonic as it is stalking with light, and it is serving a criminal system of what is surveillance by the demon possessed, because that's what they are. While this satanic object, this is literally Satan in operation in the environment. Okay, so I'm not going to go on that right now, but speaking to what are these, what demons, what puppets are speaking to as climate control, you're actually witnessing demonic activity, Satan engaging in actively affecting the environment. You're talking about pulling up trees out of the ground. You want to talk about fires starting and whatnot. This is not some natural occurrence with regard to the environment. This is satanic. And then you have what are the puppets of Satan giving you an explanation with regard to what is naturally occurring. No, it's not. And that's also not the sun. And it doesn't stop with that which is not the sun that's hovering over me and hovering over us. It is speaking to what is the effect that this demonic environment is having and giving you explanations as to it. This is relative to the times that we are in. This is relative to what is going on in the world. All right, and giving you what is the actual explanation. It is spiritual. It's not a matter of the natural environment. Demons that you cannot see. These are people who you can see who are demon possessed. The demons, the demonic spirits, you cannot see. Okay, so I want to be clear with regard to the state's light source. It literally engaged in following me to the Ovid Family Community Library and then remaining there, cycling light into that venue. But you also know the pattern of conduct because the state's fake sun is remaining over me at that same exact moment, 3:48 p.m., 3:41 p.m. at different edges of the Fontana Lewis Library, at the back facing Spring and Sierra Avenue in Fontana, and then also at the entrance as I walk out to the opposite end, to be very thorough to show you what is stalking with a fake sun. That's hovering over the Fontana Lewis Library. That is in no way coexisting and ever to be present for my ability to capture it at 3:48 p.m. Within a week later or so, capturing what is supposedly the sun. That is not the sun, and that's the ongoing direct evidence of that. And still images inside of the venue is witnessing what is the surveillance by the people of the state. These are demons, and what is directed light. You've seen the directed light inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. You've seen the directed light inside of the Ovid Family Community Library bathroom. Excuse me, you've seen the directed light as the state is then cycling it, pushing it farther in through the entrance doors. And that's exactly what I'm capturing. And it is also, so on more than one grounds, it's impossible light while the state is keeping a fake sun over the entrance area of the Fontana Lewis Library. Let me just go on ahead and say that if you are not able to make that logical leap. It is impossible for that to be sunlight as it is reaching underneath the structure that is covering the front doors of that building, whereas sun is not adjacent to those doors. Sunlight is not coming down from what's supposedly the sun and then bending horizontally underneath the structure in order to enter inside of the building, spreading throughout. And yesterday I showed you what was spreading around the elevator. All right. That is extraordinarily impossible and exceedingly terrorizing and threatening light activity by a demon possessed entity that's engaging in surveillance with communication devices. It's impossible light. Let me be clear. This light activity, this is literally understanding, and it is the personification of the stalker. The stalker is demon possessed. The stalker is Satan itself using a people, using a government. And that is the life, and I put that in air quotes, that is the life that this light has. All right. It is abnormal light. It is that which is literally living and breathing light, if you will, living and breathing light. Light, if you will. And this is what is personified through the light activity. All right. And it is the direct evidence of what is demon possession and what is a criminal system of surveillance. And it is indicative of what are the times that we are in. And it has nothing to do with climate control. Climate control has nothing to do with what is a hovering light source that is not possibly the sun, that is also not possibly present in any other state, as I am showing you for a term of years now, what is hovering over me with that which is supposed to be the sun. And by virtue of capturing that, it is exclusive because there's only one sun. And so the very conduct that the state is engaging in is the very conduct that is framing itself for that prosecution and the revealing of what is entirely satanic, speaking to their condition, speaking to the criminal system, speaking to the legislation that is necessary, never contemplated before. And it is prosecuting for a government engaging in what is satanic, and that is terrorism. All right. So at 3:48 p.m., that's the state's fake sun. And remember, at the Upland Public Library where I'm present just days ago, I remained at the Upland Public Library. I did not come down to the Open Family Community Library, and the state kept its fake sun over that venue, engaging as though the sun is then setting. And this is also the pattern of conduct that I already published, as I've already documented the Upland Public Library very thoroughly between the months of what was September, October, November. That pattern of conduct doesn't stop. The state is just continuing it wherever I go. And so that is already established. In other words, there is no time of day ever where I'm actually going to be able to capture if this was actually the sun, and this is direct evidence of it not being the sun, and direct evidence of what is satanic. And that is relevant to you as well, because what's hovering over you is not the sun. All right. I am providing documentation to the world, actually, of what the government in the United States is doing. And you do with that what you may in whatever country you reside in, because that's not the sun that is over you that you're looking at. It's not possibly the sun, because there aren't two. There's not three. There's not four. There's one. There's only one. And at 3:48 p.m., in conflict with nature and common sense, it is impossible, in other words, for me to, on days earlier, capture what is at 3:48 p.m. hovering over the entrance of a Fontana Lewis Library. And what the state also does, it remains there in Fontana as though sunlight is setting, orange-colored sunlight, as though the sun is setting out on over the parking lot, and somehow setting sunlight is also reaching into the depths of that computer lab. It's ridiculously impossible. In other words, directly incriminating demonic activity, which is serving a surveillance system. While the state has already provided that evidence, you're talking about what is continuing engaging in what is that process of stalking with light, keeping the fake sun that followed me to this venue. All right. And keeping it there in alignment with that entrance of the Open Family Community Library, pushing light into that doorway. And while you see sex offenders intentionally engaging in what are patrolling, and that is resulting in what is a molestation of my person. You are witnessing what is the prosecution of the sex offender that is the government, the sex offender that is the government acting vicariously, identified as the people of the state. Those are demons intentionally engaging in what is touching while they are stalking in the path and creating that ongoing activity in order to violate my person. That is the P.O.C, and that is demonic. Demons want to touch all over while they want to obsessively stalk. And just like you heard also, while they are engaging in that criminal and demented system, they want to engage in what is showing the threat and the worthiness that they are for being in straitjackets and for going to federal prison while they're acting on behalf of a government, placing one under surveillance in violation of federal law. Okay, that is in violation of existing federal policy. All right, that is conduct when you are engaging in surveillance with the people of the state, and that's exactly what the state of California is doing. That is inherently intended to terrorize. That is exceeding the language of Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. It exceeds the criminal motive to intimidate and to injure and to harass. All right, it is that which is intended to terrorize. All right, these are not normal people. These are the demon possessed. And that is evidenced by what is that satanic presence of a hovering light source that is not the sun, and this demonic environment that remains. And also what is the demonic conduct by the people of the state, engaging in stalking with literal noise, just like you hear being created by the state, sounding train activity, which you cannot hear outside of the doors of the Ovid Family Community Library. It is audible activity in engineered light while demons surround. Okay, the same thing like you heard seconds ago with sirens. The demons of the state acting directly in vehicles and uniforms and positions that they shall be snatched out of. Okay, and placed into the facilities where they belong, respectively. Okay, so anyway, you have what is the entity engaging in placing that directed light, and you're witnessing a molestation. This is speaking to how you're going to prosecute the sex offender, that is the state of California. How you're going to prosecute the stalker, that is the state of California. How you're going to prosecute the terrorist, that is the domestic enemy, that is the state of California. All right, and acting through the people of the state, all of the same exact criminal titles applicable to them in that same environment, engaging in this demonic system as one. All right, 4:08 p.m. That's audible activity. I've shown you what is the criminal, that is Southwest Airlines, providing a template for how you will prosecute engagement in terrorism by such company actors. It is not different than the criminals that are using their vehicles to engage in molesting and terrorism with directed light, stalking under the fake sun while they are engaged in surveillance with communication devices. That's exactly what Southwest Airlines is providing a template of. What every single company that is engaging in what is surveillance under their brand name. That's exactly what it is. So I want to be clear. That's why I'm able to capture that video. That is impossible. First of all, the state followed with its fake sun over me here. Second of all, you're talking about what is remaining in the city of Upland, where I would never be able to capture that footage of the state's fake sun at 3:48 p.m. if that was actually the sun over me in Upland, California, which is relevant to and directly connected to the documentation that already exists when I was documenting the city of Upland, which is documenting the people of the state and the state of California in the city of Upland. It is also directly relevant to what is the documentation that exists at the same minute down to the same hour, where I would typically remain at the Fontana Lewis Library. This is maintaining what is ongoing documentation of what is the state's fake sun, where I am at any other location and the state is maintaining its fake sun, for example, at what is the B&G Plaza, where the state is keeping its fake sun, where I am in transit in a vehicle. The state is doing nothing but moving its fake sun then wherever it is that I go. That is by engaging in that conduct. This is the point. This is the juncture where the government is prosecuting. First of all, the government's already prosecuted. The government is sealing up its own fate. That's what is going on. Okay? Because the P.O.C. is established, you understand what it is. You understand the psychopaths that are engaging in it, as I let you hear with your own ears. And then I just show you the evidence because facts speak for themselves. And you're going to deal with that demon accordingly. You want to engage in criminal defamation, which is threatening the liberty of another while you're criminally placing under surveillance on behalf of a government. That's a whole lot of federal charges. And you will end up in whatever facility that it is that you belong in. It's not that I don't have the answer. It's just that I'm not going to expound upon that at all. I'm speaking to how you are framing the entity with evidence of its own criminal conduct, which is of an unfathomable and malicious level. Right, so that is the state's light source following to the venue, incriminating every minion on the clock at Ontario Open Family. But this is what the state is doing on a routine basis. And I want to be clear, these are minions of Satan. You're witnessing what is Satan taking form on what is a light source that's supposed to be the sun that you are never supposed to question. You're looking at Satan itself. Understand that. Satan is a spirit, all right, not a physical person. Satan is possessing physical people. This is demon possession while they are under that satanic object that is not the sun that's hovering over me while I'm subject to surveillance by the demon possessed. All right. Now that's a whole bunch of levels, but I've broken that all down into what is objective evidence that is worthy of being placed into what is a tribunal, a federal court, in order to prosecute. It's not impervious whatsoever while Satan is using governments to engage in surveillance of American citizens. And that's just in the U.S. And by the way, 3:48 p.m. is Pacific Standard Time. You're talking about what is the absence of any light source. This this is the ongoing relevance to what the rest of the country is enduring, what the country is doing on this, and the rest, what the government is doing in the rest of the country. And from that, it is also relevant to what is the rest of the world. And why? Because there's only one sun. And the supposed, alleged one sun is remaining over me, following me in one city from street to street, turn for turn, and then remaining over what is Ovitt Family Community Library at 3:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 4:48 p.m. Central Standard Time, and what would be 6:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you see the object itself, which is not also visibly present over any sky space in Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Florida. Nothing whatsoever. That is the P.O.C, okay? And this is speaking to what is surveillance. Look at those still images that I captured right before I'm stepping outside, 3:47, 3:48 p.m. That is the surveillance that the people are engaging on a ceaseless basis. They're doing the same thing outside of the vehicle where I'm sleeping, sitting in the middle of the street, standing around, engaging in surveillance, sitting in their venues, wherever it is that they are living, flying around in commercial airline planes and helicopters, engaging in massive demonic targeting while surveillance is underway. It's called state surveillance and terrorism. I have referred to it as what is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is currently 4:13 p.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, and let me just put it succinctly for you. In other words, where I'm capturing on, for example, 9:55 a.m. at the Ovitt Family Community Library, and you see what is the state's fake sun that's hovering over the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, located at 215 East C Street in Ontario. That's 9:55 in the morning. Where I'm capturing what is the state's fake sun that's remaining at essentially 4 o'clock in the evening, that's how you know that's not the sun. It's the same address. It's the same location. All right, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. This is P.O.C. 7 WIG 756. These are vehicles that are parked in the parking lot of the 280 North Lane Apartments / Ontario City Hall / Ontario Senior Center. Oh, and it's currently 4:19 p.m. BEEEBZZ 8135 7E3 8BSL 405 5MBN 577 JELI Liz Jelly. She's a stalker and a demon, or he or she is a stalker and a demon. 7GKC 474 8JHX 835 8GNT 513 C104OC. That's a handicap. 7MPL 725 7UKT 520. And I will show you what is the state's fake sun that is now in alignment with me where I stand in the parking lot of the 280 North Limit Apartments, which is not in alignment whatsoever with the state's facilitating the Ovitt Family Community Library. It is moving what is that will be south as I'm moving south. All right, and let me get this demon license since I want to open up the gate. This is activity creation. 7YXE 256 7ELP 314 8ESD 983 6BSF 235 7BVJ 336. All right, using the parking garage to open and close. And let me be clear, they do the same thing inside of the Ovitt Family Community Library. As I walk on, for example, on the second floor, the door just opens up with simultaneity to my crossing path. Understand how that is. You're talking about what are demons sitting around on a camera, opening and closing out, controlling the elevator. Or however it is that you're engaging in using it with simultaneity, engaging in demonic activity, entirely demonic. Nobody's even on the elevator for what is supposed to be the form. Oh, somebody's just on the elevator. That's the coincidental, opening and closing. No, they do it when there's not even anyone on the elevator. Just opening and closing it. It's a method of activity creation. Light is appearing while the elevator door closes and opens, and it does it as I am walking across. And this is speaking to what is the second level. That's just an example. All right. You also have them sitting around on the elevator, just waiting to cross path. All right. And that's how I've also captured. I'll press the button for the elevator and it opens up and somebody's just standing on there with their communication device in hand in directed light. It is the P.O.C. There's no question about whether monitoring is ongoing. I'm showing you all the ways in which these demons are engaging in they are creepy, psychopath, sex offending freaks of nature. And that's what Satan is, okay? And so this is just revealing what is a cover. They don't have a cover anymore. So you're talking about what's a psychopath that would like to smile in your face and show you all their followers on Facebook. Them and all their followers are minions, okay? They're minions and they're sickos. License plate 8DCY561, 7XUY441, 8JUV254, 7JXR318. Impossible light activity appearing on what is Metro 102 onto a porch. How is that ever going to occur when the state's keeping the fake sun in alignment with the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, which it does on the days that it's not closing at 4 p.m. like the sun is setting after it's following me to that venue. 8HWF923, 66067M2, 8PUR716. All right, I believe that is that minion I documented at 7-Eleven. She's stalking in relevant position, and I expounded upon her conduct that she was engaging in at 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue. She's parked over here in this parking lot. 8XBR835, 8SDX732, CA08T22. That's a paper plate on a gray C-Class Mercedes. 7BUD973. All right, so let me show you a picture of the fake sun. Hold on. And you're going to see the building of Metro 102 on what is the left. You're going to see right in front of me, where my camera is aiming, the 280 North Lemon Apartments. The state is extended beyond the building of the 280 North Lemon Apartments. It's right here over the top of what is Metro 102. I'm going to capture an image of that right now, and that is a grand departure from remaining in alignment with the entrance. Why is it in alignment with the entrance? Because it's called stalking with light. That light activity that the state maintains inside of that entrance, and then all of a sudden the sun, this is clearly not the sun, but I'm just speaking to the acidity. So then all of a sudden the sun is just migrating, hovering south over Lemon Street. No, it's keeping in alignment with me while I am walking south through the parking lot. All right, that's P.O.C. It's 4:24 p.m. And I did capture that image. It's 4:24 p.m. where you will see it. And you also see a vehicle that's leaving out of the 280 North Lemon Apartments. That's a demon stalking in the path. They are crossing path as I'm operating my phone. It's a consistent behavioral pattern. It's very, very identical. 8 RDP 207, I believe. I can't really see that one though. But I took an image of that. You can see the fake sun right there over the Metro 102 apartments. And I want to be clear, the state's fake sun is, while I'm at the Ovid Family Community, let me just point out some more common sense for you. The state's fake sun, this is just the acidity. So the sun is supposedly following me to this location where it's supposedly already present. All right. If that was the sun, it would be. And it's not. It's remaining over me as I arrive at that venue. Okay. And then what is the state actually doing? Pay attention. All it's doing is moving diagonally, keeping in alignment with the entrance doors, and now moving south as I'm walking southward toward Holt Boulevard. But you have what is moving as though the sun is going back diagonally in the same direction from whence it came. We were already west, in other words, what I'm describing. We're already west of this location. The state is acting like the sun is setting. 7SOR151, like the sun is setting. This is what the state is always doing. It's not just today. It's moving backwards, like the sun is quote unquote setting, moving west from the very position over my head, keeping perfect alignment with me, aiming light on the same location. And in impossible methods, that's not sunlight that's ever going to be reaching into the building. But then you're acting like the sun is setting and you're going, toward the Stater Brothers that you passed over this morning? Way after schedule? Is that what the entity is doing? Because that's what I showed you on video, 8WMT488. And so I guess it's moving south in order to engage in alignment. And then it's going to move west to set near the museum as I go to the B&G Plaza. I've also shown you that. This is looking at what the state is doing with its light source. And this is nothing to do with the actual sun. I am using the analysis of the behavior of the actual sun, the single, exclusive, and incriminating, in other words, sun that this light source is not, because I'm showing you what is demonic and what's criminal and demented. That demented is going to a prosecution for terrorism. 7ZTM958, and what you must remember, this is going to the prosecution and the that very harsh legislation, no tolerance for governments monitoring and surveilling and terrorizing and kidnapping. And by the nature of the crime of monitoring and surveillance, remember this entity is monitoring every word that I'm engaged in documenting. Okay, so you're talking about what is Satan the entire time, witnessing its own demise, but still engaging and persisting and determined to continue it. Oh, that's an unlawful threat. People are going to federal prison for that. 6XKK107, 7FEW343, 7674781. You remember that because I'm not forgetting it, and I'm always reminding you of that. This is necessary when you are you're going to rope in an animal. 8NOR342, you're going to tame that animal. And you're going to let Satan know what he will and will not be doing, not without consequences. AWXC 885. Blackface demons engaging in targeting with law enforcement, having nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. 8KNW023. It is currently 4:27 p.m. 7MQE214. HHN934. JAS 6465. That looks like an out-of-state license plate. 7KMT006. And let me be clear, these blackface demon-possessed stalkers are outside of Metro 102. That's where I'm walking. I'm walking south on Plum Avenue right now. 8WOD420. And you're going to remember all of the documentation of the state's fake sent over me in the morning at B&G Plaza. And then I walk north of Plum Avenue. State keeps its fake sent over me. BP 8S07 paper, 7VCJ626, 7SZG688. And then you have what is at the same street, no longer in alignment with the Ovid Family Community Library. It's 4:23 p.m. and let me show you these images right here. I'm right here at Holt and Plum. All right, showing you what is the state's fake sun. That is essentially, it's right here over the 3-star janitorial. That's where the state's fake sun is in the morning when we're driving east on Holt Boulevard. License plate 11697H1, 8UXA 911, 8SVF462, 7PLW677, 8HLT059. That is license plates 8VCW573. I can't really see that one. The state's fake sun is actually over the 3-star janitorial after remaining in alignment with the Ovid Family Community Library, and aiming that light underneath that structure, 5XP and 523, which is a migration south on a specific street, aiming light on the specific location where I'm at. Okay, I just want to make sure I point that out. I'm crossing the street right now. Hold on. 8A54884, 8MT932, I believe. 8TMT932. 7JXR391. 8LCX333. 3055883. 6B43170. 71096V2. 13164U2. 8YF355. 21501F3. Those are still images where I captured. The state's fake sun is over the 3-star janitorial at Holt and Lemon. And the state is also aiming directed light upward up Plum Avenue. Okay, so while I'm walking down the street and those African-American males who are demon-possessed engaging in targeting with law enforcement, and would have you believe that they're scared of police and that police are targeting them based on their race. It's a demonic targeting system having nothing to do with race. And black, white, orange, green, peach, whatever color you want to call it, they're demons alike targeting together. They are all puppets of Satan. And Black Lives Matter is a false narrative. Okay, 0001983. And in California, that's not what's going on. That's not what it is. That is not what is underway. 6RJG890. Violation of constitutional rights by law enforcement is not premised on race. That's not what they're focused on. This is demonic. All right, I'm going to show you a stalker, tactic of a stalker. Walking to his car, it's his method of what is crossing path. You see the fake sun right over the vehicle. I'm standing outside of what is Andy's Burgers, where the state's fake sun is over that venue in the morning, okay? 7VVF569. Okay. 7WKR907. License plate 8M46380. 6WSN390. And none of this, again, is ever going to be present. If that was the actual sun, that's present over the Fontana Lewis Library in the city of Fontana. And the state's aiming directed light, like the sun is setting over the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, and then also aiming light into the computer lab. None of that's, this is asininity, all right? Demons, 7WKR907. Directed light across the menu of Andy's Burgers where these demons are stalking in the path, okay? And this big bubble right here, she's all wide and all outside, 7RFT082, monitoring by Andy's Burgers as well. License 7AUX135, 8TBF661, 8ZNT483, 8WZZ204, 7ECW464, 8REB, oh, hold on, scratch that, 8YJK013, I can't see that one, 7TCY910, 7UIA788, 8WDT448, 5SLV 487, 8SJC 208. And again, the sex offender, the stalker, the criminal that is identified as omnitrans, engaging in state surveillance under a company name, engaging in crossing paths using one of their little omni access vehicles and reaching out toward me with directed light. 8ULP1, I can't see that. You can scratch that one. I can't say that. And also, like I said, it goes without saying, while I'm at the Ontario Plaza and that which is not the sun, not possibly the sun, when it's remaining over the B&G Plaza, and not only that, it's remained over, today it remained over 630 North Fern. How is it possible? When I am, how many times have I pointed out to you, while I'm at the B&G Plaza and I'm facing south and I'm showing you this fake sun, and I'm showing you the opposite direction, my back is to what is the direction of 630 North Fern. It is not coexisting. But you have what that, in the face of that evidence, okay, you're talking about what is the determined loser, what is the obsessed stalker, and the defeated one, that is Satan itself and all of its minions. You can have a multitude of minions. They're all going to be wrapped up together. They all lose together. So you have what is the state keeping its fake sin over 60 North Fern. What is it that Omnitrans is crossing path underneath all morning when I'm at the B&G Plaza and they're touching all over my body repeatedly and even deviating from their published schedule just so they can come and touch on me? 0001983. While they're monitoring what I'm doing on my phone. What is that? Right? While I'm at the Ontario Plaza and the fake sun is over me, it is simultaneous prosecution of that sexual violence and that surveillance that Omnitrans is engaging in. Okay, I'm just using Omnitrans as an example. This is the prosecution of an entity. And understanding what is sexual violence. You want to touch? I'm going to touch you with the prosecution. All right? It is currently 4:34 p.m. And let me be clear, demons want to touch. Demons want to stalk. Demons want to act like you're the crazy one. So I just lean in and I turn on the tape, let the tape roll, because I'm going to drag Satan. I'm going to drag him by his eyelids, just like I told him. License plate, 8UYD173. 8VVA 468, I believe. And so you have what is, again, the pattern. A fake sun is present over the B&G Plaza as though it's setting aiming light onto the same location, the B&G Plaza. 8ZHB188, 8HTZ518, 65876D1, 8YHS708, 14029Z1, 7XOJ668, 8YHZ433, 8UUY530. That's all that the state does. Act like that same fake sun, as it remains all day long, is then changing color. All right, remaining in the same imperfect alignment in the same city at the same address, all right, or following to whatever address and aiming light on the same exact location. That's called stalking with light. It's demonic, and it's. Let me be clear, and I think I'm very clear. When you're witnessing this demonic activity, this obsessive stalking with light, the links to which the entity goes to touch and to follow, that's exactly what's wrong with the people of the state. 8LTA706. These are demons, and they are focused on me. That light is a direct indicator as to the condition of the one that is in relevant position, what they are doing, and seeking to maliciously do it. And I'm slicing that those idiots' tactics down for you. They're demons, they're inferior, they're stalkers, and they're sex offenders. Okay? Period. All right? And that ongoing light activity is speaking the truth to that. All right, it's currently 4:36 p.m. Alrighty, and what do you see? You see the same thing what I capture right now, 4:36 p.m. You're looking at the same thing I capture at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning at B&G Plaza. You're looking at what is the fake sun in alignment at the B&G Plaza, following from Ovid Family Community Library, like the sun was setting there, and which is a migration south, and you're looking at the state hovering in a commercial airline plane, which is audible activity and relevant positioning by the demons who are using planes to engage in this incredible stalking conduct, right? You're looking at that picture, you're seeing the fake sun. It is the same exact conduct what the state is doing in the morning. I mean, literally. And I captured that images for you because that speaks louder, even though I speak very clearly as well. I think together it is just the quintessential. It is necessary. You're understanding what is demonic, not just criminal. This is demonic. You need to understand it. It is surrounding. It is a part of wherever you are, this is real, all right? And it's a part of your life. And these are the times that we're in. 7XOJ668 is the minion that you see in that image under the fake sun, while the demons in that commercial airline plane are flying over. In the same manner, the same exact setup, fake sun in the morning, hovering by commercial airline planes. 7JBU052 and 7FOD931. Oh, hold on, we got another one over here. I don't know if I read 61182Y2. But if I didn't, there you go. and 7JBH182. And my shadow was appearing at a distance away from me in the shade. While you that's audible activity. They're just minions that are patrolling. All right, it is currently 4:38 p.m. All right, see, 4:40 p.m. I am capturing images of what is the state's fake sun. As you can see, it aimed on me inside of S.I.I.S liquor, and also while I'm completing a purchase on surveillance camera, the state flashing directed light into the depths of the store. 8M46380 8135 7E3 8XTG327 6AFG 791 7THX 950 8TW002, I believe, 5UOM484, 8RDY268, 8YYZ290, 8VXV309, 8YHY613, 7WZT071, 7ACT006, 5MWG450, 7AUS716, 7AVE531, 8MBU259, 8NRY319, and again, your common sense dictates you have what is the state's fake sun that's above the B&G Plaza in the morning, and then I'm capturing still images of what is the state's fake sun aiming on me. You can see the object itself while I'm standing inside of the S.I.I.S liquor after 4 p.m. License 01793A1, 7XWJ719, 7KVG112. 8T27518, and that is after remaining for a prolonged period in front of the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, arriving as I arrive over me, and then migrating south. 4WRE657, 8NNJ861, and that is what that is. As I walk through the parking lot from Ovid Family Community Library, walking through the Senior Center parking lot, the 280 North Lemon 280 North Lemon Apartments parking lot, and I took a picture of what is the state's fake sun, and where you see Metro 102, it's right there on the edge of where the Metro 102 apartments are, and I continue walking south down Plum, and I'm at the B&G Plaza. That is migration south. That has nothing to do with any east or west, and this is also present. This is the actual sun that's over the B&G Plaza in the morning, which it's not, all right? You are talking about what is present in the evening. NWK 9584, that's Texas. Not only that, I'm showing you on video when I'm coming from Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue. This is after 9 o'clock in the morning. You're looking at the fake sun hovering over the B&G Plaza in motion as I get off at Lemon and Holt. 4463082, and yet you have what is the presence of the fake sun as I capture at 10:06 a.m. as I go to the Ovid Family Community Library, and then you have it here as I am at the B&G Plaza. What type of migration is that? You're passing over the B&G Plaza and securing presence right over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, and then somehow you are over the B&G Plaza, and that's exactly what that is, what I'm showing you in a picture. 6EYA127. License plate. 7NQS235 LABAEOB. Let's see, 76072W2 8CZS 889 8JGX 992 7TIW074 25251Z2 6KXW 702, I believe, 11697H1 7T60300 8ZLL260 7HJY009, engaging in satanic conduct, terrorism, federal stalking with a minor in the vehicle. 7TFF781, CRT812L, that's Arizona. 8PGM777, Ontario Police with a paper plate, vehicle 1034 AY71P86, a paper plate on the police vehicle. CRTB214, is that correct? Arizona license plate. 6XJD430, license 8RDE618. And Ontario Police touching with directed light with the rest of these demons while they are driving eastbound on Holt Boulevard at 4:44 p.m. Directed light across the sidewalk in the shade, directed light across the S.I.I.S liquor building. All right, the Ontario Police, their fate is already, they're done. All right, so I'm just want to document, and they put a paper plate on that police vehicle. License plate 7JEB775. License plate 7ZVV498. License plate 7KRN180 8YLP. I can't see the rest of it. It said 16 are the last two characters, but I couldn't see that third to the last character. You have it's 4:45 p.m. Anyway, you know what? I'm not even going to address that. I'm going to let that speak for itself. My documentation speaks for itself. AKVG 897 7TXR931, 4YJA480, 8YJK013. Okay, a minion. Contrary to what they would like to be personified as with a loud engine, no gonads whatsoever. Okay? A pathetic and a demon-possessed stalker. There is nothing gangster about that. License 7DQA499. License 8BLK724. License plate 6CUD932. BM96P68. Paper 8X. I can't really see that one. 6RGB 637. 6RGB 637. 6DJU 642. Excuse me. 7DNP 352. 8WAN 920. 8NHL 730. 8XEU 718. 7BNA 003. 7GCC 466, 7SWD 591, 5MEJ 665, 8HLTO 59, 8EOT 517, 7LHG 597, I believe. 7LHG 397, excuse me. 8APF 860, 8CZN 951, 8DYL 269, 7HYF 074, 6PMG 433. 67947L2, 8WCU 654, and it's currently 4:47 p.m. You have some pathetic demons that are just walking back and forth in the sidewalk. And they're doing that because the state is aiming directed light on the sidewalk. It's 8EHH889. It's so sad. It's pathetic. This is the living dead, though. They don't have an actual existence. They don't have a purpose. They are focused on one that's superior to them, and that is the reality. This is not I'm not some narcissist. A demon possession is that of the inferior. Okay, 7JLB020. All right, and you are witnessing the inferior and a massive, okay, you want to talk about a headlock? This is a massive headlock from eternity on the inferior population that are demon-possessed, and they're engaging in criminal conduct, so they're going to be held accountable in the natural, and what is waiting for them in eternity is that inevitable fate as well. These are nonetheless puppets of Satan. They're engaging in what is the absolute pathetic existence. Everything that they are doing is centered around me, and that's the reality of it. You are talking about what is an entirely fake sun. And let me tell you, Satan is focused on me and all of its minions. I regard Satan as an it, okay? All of its minions are focused in on me, including those pathetic minions driving around in police vehicles. That's what my documentation is establishing over and over and over again. And they're going into the facilities where they belong. It is pathetic. It is 4:48 p.m. and the state's fake sun on me and Shiro's Liquor. That is, again, relevant to what is the rest of the country. The absence of any light source while it is hunkering down inside of a window of a liquor store on a street, Hope Boulevard, in the city of Ontario, not present in any other state or county or any other location whatsoever. It's exclusive. 4WOG 551. That's how you're going to prosecute a government. There's no argument for that. That's supposedly the sun. You're talking about what is admitting what you're doing. 7GML 848. 6XDS 269. 84301B2, 4NFP 884, 8XTF 910, 5YBD 456, 4URT 320, 7PWR 473, 6KYY 358. And remember that documentation and that timestamp of that fake sun, it's Pacific Standard Time. Okay, this minion back here loitering, monitoring, surveilling with law enforcement. Demons alike, 7ZNW 406. And let me show you the fake sun. Fake sun is aiming light onto what is in alignment with at the B&G Plaza and after remaining over what's the Open Family Community Library. And where its location is, it is essentially over the Andy's Burger, the edge of the B&G Plaza, and the state's fake sun is over the plaza itself, right above where I'm sitting on the bus bench. And this is impossible. I mean, it's literally asininity. I mean, this is sad. 60SC 742, BE68S38 paper, 7EGM282, 5CRT492, 34566B1, 7ZUD096. And while the entity engages in placing that which is a fake sun, it is revealing what is going on in the rest of the country. Let me point that out because California is being dealt with. It's done. I'm letting you know what's going on with regard to what is Satan in operation over people, over an environment, what is criminal that Satan is doing. License 3HKX571, 7KHK520, 8VGG327, but I can't really see that one. Let me just scratch that. 8ABS050, Omnitrans license 1234516, bus number 1224. License 8XDZ032, 8NWB070, 5FXK164, 8WZL620. 11056S2, 6WJT432. There are so many ways that you need to understand what this documentation reveals. I mean, it is compelling. 7:35 in the morning, the state's fake sun is on this same street at Starbucks. That's what I documented on video yesterday. Do you understand? At 4:52 p.m. where the state's fake sun is on the same street aiming light onto me. After I showed you yesterday the state passing up this video of the B&G Plaza. License plate 68TT854. If that's supposed to be the sun, then that was the sun over Starbucks on this same street, and this is supposedly the sun on the same street aiming light into the into the liquor store. 8VDS637. That's not the sun. That is no sun at all. Do you understand that? Let alone if you're going in through, because there's even more minutia to get through. I mean, it is a comprehensive body of evidence what the state is doing. I'm not even getting into time of year, okay, where I was at this time of year and what the state was doing with its fake sun, and understand what the state was doing, thinking that they're going to get away with it. I mean, they exposed so much, okay? So like I said, license plate 5WWD006. You have what is, I'm just going to keep it at a macro level, big picture, the state's fake sun by virtue of this documentation. If that was the sun yesterday, 7WLG191, how was the sun setting on the same street? You're talking about less than 3 miles. Vineyard Avenue and Hope Boulevard. And right here, you're acting like the sun is setting over the Ontario Museum, right? That's what that is in order to be in alignment with me and hunkering down. I'm able to capture it on a picture inside of S.I.I.S liquor. 7EIJ732. 7YMGO21. How is any other city getting sunlight, having a sun over them, if that was the actual sun? It's not. Duh. It's not. 5KLJ000 is a demon, and they are caught. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. But that's what that shows, and that's what I mean by glaring evidence, being surrounded with evidence, insurmountable evidence. 8KVY129, 8ZWZ253, 7EUK750, 7EHC272, 8RXB907, 6JFU050, 8JYG916, 8VUD593, JZW053, that's out of state, 8DAA099. And that's what I'm talking about. And like I said, that's just one street. Hope Boulevard, 7:35 a.m. up until after 4:54 p.m. Really, the sun. Okay, on Hope Boulevard. 7H46645. Yeah, of course that's not. How was it ever a sunny day in Memphis, Tennessee? How? I've told you how. You're witnessing what is of Satan. That you're witnessing what is of the spiritual affect on an environment, and it's entirely demonic. All I'm doing is letting you know what you're looking at, what is surrounding you. License plate 7BQJ219. And while these demons driving around in police vehicles and fire trucks and paramedics, ambulance vehicles, driving around in commercial vehicles, it is indiscriminate demon possession. This is literally the minions of Satan and their identities being exposed. 7FBV634, 6HJP675. And that is not the sun on any day, in no way. at all. 8SQE438. That right there, that alone, besides the fact that you're looking at what is the state's fake sun over me remaining at 630 North Fern till after 10:30, when you're supposedly the sun that's over the Starbucks at 7:35 in the morning remaining, okay? And then keeping in step with me as I arrive to the library, 8XFS256, where I remain, okay? But contrary to that, the state's fake sun is over 630 North Fern. That is already advanced beyond some library. That is never present over the Starbucks while also maintaining presence over 630 North Fern. No, it's not. All right. And it's also never over BNG Plaza until I'm on the bus passing that venue up. But you have it here, setting. 8SUG795. And I put that in air quotes, setting. 7ZVV498. 7JZK263, 8MIP607, 7CKG534, 15153R2, 8WRZ156, 7ADP759, 8TRL116, 4HGL544, 54301P2, 7SHJ022. Like I said, that is profound. And I'm documenting it. I've been documenting it for a long time, but it's just profound. It is profound to me and you're talking about, again, minions, just assuming you're never going to question. You're never going to 6VIA228. You're never going to have the ability. 305682. Why? Because the pattern of conduct is defamation and kidnapping. 8KSS977. In other words, Satan itself, Satan and all of its minions conspiring to silence you. That's the pattern of conduct. Okay, what this is, and you see how glaring it is, like right in your face. That's clearly not the sun. That is not the sun at all. CABX, I can't see that. That's a paper plate. But let me be clear. Like I said, the intention and the malicious design, the psychopath that is Satan. And then let me be clear, that satanic spirit in the people of the state. These are demons. These are not normal people. Oh, the P.O.C. is to defame you. That's criminal. While you're engaged in state terrorism and surveillance, that's criminal defamation. It is exceeding any pecuniary harm. That's not what this is about. This is about a pattern of conduct to engage in obstruction of justice in order to conceal what you're doing as a government, as an entity. Defamation is the P.O.C. Kidnapping is the P.O.C. Oh, that's why you're going to federal prison for that. 6VGE421, that's no joke. That's very serious. I documented it. Okay? License 7PHL282. 6FRG434, 7KLN796, the state aiming directed light across the street of Hope Boulevard, so these demons are driving through engineered light while they're crossing path. And the same way the state is aiming engineered light onto the sidewalk while those demons are pacing back and forth in that light, all right? While the same way the state is keeping a fake sun in alignment in order to touch on the Ontario Town Square townhomes, a venue where engineered light is present. It is incriminating that venue. This is how you're going to prosecute a government, because that's not the sun. All of these demons are monitoring together. Okay, you're talking about the glaring evidence, keeping a fake sun on Hope Boulevard, 70GK101. You're going to round up all of those demons, all of them together. All of them, every single last one of them, because they're all monitoring. License 601-7472. 4ZBX107. 84574R2. 7WZX604. HRS, I can't see them, you search mine. 8ZBA073. 4WGX129. 7GUB028. 8LSX244. 7PAH109, 6WPU220, 07797V2, that's Enterprise, 8NZF501, 7ZTM159. How are you even 6VXK710? There's so, how are you? Okay, I'm sorry. It's just the asininity. It is baffling to me. But anyway, it's not baffling that I don't understand what's going on. I just do not understand the level of, this is stupid. Do you understand that? This is stupidity. This is stupid. This is not intelligent. It's not sophisticated. So you were talking about what was intended to never be revealed because nobody was ever supposed to be able to, quote unquote, figure it out. Nobody's supposedly ever question it. And nobody that has a sane mind, you're supposed to be immediately written off as suffering from some mental incapacity. Oh, she's hallucinating. She's crazy. She's imagining it. 6TJA887. So says a minion out of the mouth of Satan. Okay? Out of all of their mouths. And what am I showing you? The fake sun that's over that demon's head. I'm going to prosecute them with that. And it's necessary as a matter of justice. It's necessary as a matter of justice. It is currently 5 p.m. and that is engineered light all across Ontario Town Square, spreading directed light across Hope Boulevard, and keeping a fake sun diagonal to the property of the B&G Plaza. That's why I'm able to show you what is the fake sun aiming on me inside on the inside of that liquor store. And you're going to remember the fake sun remaining on Hope Boulevard at 7:35 in the morning, 7XGN134. But this is not new. I've already documented this. I would get up at the Museum of History and Arts, the state's fake sun over me early in the morning, and I would show you all day long the state keeping a fake sun on Hope Boulevard everywhere that I would go. It's already published. It's already published. License plate 8YLP616, and I'm describing the environment because that is Union Pacific engaging in P.O.C. 6 GPA 899. Coach U.S.A. is crossing path. Coach number 66772. P825. I can't really see that one. But that's Coach USA. The license plate is all silver and scratched out while they're crossing path monitoring. And let me be clear, that's supposedly the form for what is the sound of Union Pacific. Union Pacific is not a passenger train. It's a raggedy old train. They're using it for audible activity, doing so pursuant to the demonic pattern of conduct of stalking with noise, as I make any move, as I do anything. 5NDW883, including on the internet, 70696U2. They can pull up a coach. They can pull out an Amtrak coach, 8WQL724. Guess what? Even if they created a line, which is what the entity is engaged in, 5UCU729, you're talking about a government that's engaging in criminal conduct. Very resourceful, all right? They'll create up a business. They'll create a route, create a history for it. They'll, whatever. Guess what? It's relevant positioning under what is a fake sun and in directed light. It's P.O.C. 6DVN513. There is no form. There is no form, and it's unreasonable to even posit that that's the case all of a sudden when you're engaged in an ongoing pattern of kidnapping. 7HNA530 of stalking and maintaining control over an environment that's entirely unnatural and impossible. 3VUY322. It is the ongoing POC. 48401E1, 8KES551. And Amtrak is not using a passenger train on those train tracks, and also not doing it at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, like I've documented at the museum, like you're hearing on my podcast early in the morning, where the state is using the train as a means of audible activity to monitor me. 35063E2. It has nothing to do with any passenger train. It's a method of activity creation, just like the minions knocking on the bathroom door at Super Clean Laundry while the fake sun is over the venue. You're engaged in surveillance. Altogether, you already know, you want to deny that, that's fine. The fake sun is over the venue. You're engaged in surveillance. You're knocking on the door while you were stalking in the path and doing so in relevant position on behalf of the state. That's activity creation. You're a sex offender. You're going to be prosecuted as engaging in federal stalking inside of the private space. Period. License. It's 5:02 p.m. License plate. But that's dealing with a psychopath. So, like I said, 7WSG176. That's dealing with a psychopath, a delusional one. A delusional one. License 6XOD725, 7LTH310, 58KS280, 6AMGO97, 8DKA686, 8ZDT021, 92163H3, 8VZE539, 7YVM902, 7TED617, 8SWV395, 8BCW263, 8DGH546, 8YZY828, 7ZNW406. All right, monitoring with law enforcement, Ontario PD crossing path, and they are aiming light. All right, this is license 6K34757 while light is molesting me. And Ontario police in multiple vehicles, 1591669, I believe. License plate crossing path right now while they're listening to me document that other third party. They're crossing path, and Ontario PD was crossing path while I'm being molested. That is the POC. Those third parties are monitoring with law enforcement, so I'm just speaking to, it's all the rest of them as well, but I just want to speak to the pattern of conduct while Ontario PD were patrolling, and doing so while I am sitting at the bus bench. It is currently 5:16 p.m. and understand what OPD, what the demons of the Ontario Police Department are doing. 8VUU 808 while they are listening to me document, engage in visibly crossing path again. All right, it is 5:16 p.m. 5DGD098 molesting, 7DTT151, 8DBG541. What? Can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. BK93626. And this is 8RQG441. I'm sorry, 8BQG441. It's 5:51 p.m. 7GIR 179. 8XXR 397. 6EVX 766. 35403D1. 7UZX 604. 8RLP 215. 8WIN 371. 8PZW 682, because I didn't read that one already. I think I read 8YPO 944, yeah. 8NUH 519.